Now we will have in succession the twin transcendental pujaris of this world headquarters of the Hare Krishna movement. I'll begin with requesting His Grace Jananivas Prabhu to kindly come and make his offering.
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Shamini Tinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nivashi Shashanyavari Paschatya Deshatharini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Garadha Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. Mahaprasad. So there's a little story that Srila Prabhupada performed to. It was illustrating Srila Prabhupada according to time and circumstance. And this was in 1972. We were still living in the Bajrang Kutir, and Srila Prabhupada came at the end of 1970, beginning and the end of 1972. And Bhavananda Prabhu was the president at that time. And so when Prabhupada arrived, Bhavananda approached Srila Prabhupada and said that, Srila Prabhupada, the devotees here, they are taking this Khajuras. Khajuras is the date trees. They cut the date trees and they get the sap from it and they boil it down and they make a sugar, molasses. Khajuragur is famous in Bengal. Very nice, it tastes like chocolate. And Srila Prabhupada said the devotees, they're drinking this Khajuras. If you leave it until after the sun rises, it starts to ferment and it becomes alcoholic. So Bhavananda was saying, Srila Prabhupada, they're taking this Khajuras, it's a very strong intoxicant, just like whiskey. And the devotees are drinking it, Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, oh, really? He's showing his concern. But he didn't say anything else. So the next morning, we would all have darshan with Prabhupada in the Bajrang Kutir. And one of the devotees there, his name was Duchahari Prabhu. I think he was a Marine, he was American, South American, but he was a kind of a real tough guy. And we were sitting down and he said to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, sometimes me and the boys, we take a japa walk down the road and they're making this Khajur ras. And we take that ras and we drink it and it's really good, bro. It sounded like, me and the boys, we go down the road and knock a few back down to the bar. The way he said it, it sounded, it was funny. And Prabhupada was, oh, really? He was. So now Prabhupada heard two sides. He heard the management side, they're drinking this whiskey, and the other side, how the devotees are liking it. So the next day, during the darshan time, then Shrutikirti Prabhu came with a glass of Khajuras. And he said, Srila Prabhupada, would you like some Khajuras? And Prabhupada, he took it and he looked at it and he smelled it. Prabhupada knew very well what Khajuras. He's a Bengali, he was born in Bengal. Everybody knows. But anyway, he kind of looked at it as if he was examining it and testing it. He took a few drops. It was very nice. Took a few more. Then he said to Shrutikirti, bring me another glass. Empty glass, not Prabhupada's glass. Then he poured his glass into the empty glass and he said to Shrutikirti, now you pass it round, give all the devotees here a drink of the Khajuras. So he passed it around and and Bhavananda sitting there, he's fuming. Couldn't get his way. So it's a little example of how Prabhupada, according to the time and circumstance, and because this is the Tirabhav Tithi, generally it's one of um, sadness as well. But Prabhupada was, wherever Prabhupada was, we became happy. So anyway, I'll tell a story of the last time Srila Prabhupada was in here, in Sridham Mayapur, 1977. And he was leaving, he was going to Vrindavan, and so the kirtan was going on. Everywhere Prabhupada went, we had kirtan to greet him, to see him off. And so the kirtan was going on, waiting for Prabhupada to come down the stairs from his lotus building. And we were doing the deity worship. At that time, only small Radha Madhava and Gauranga were here, Mayapur Chandra. And so I was serving Madhava. And we could tell where Prabhupada was according to the intensity of the kirtan. The kirtan was going on, but where Prabhupada made his appearance, then immediately we would pick up. And so like that, we could understand the movements of Prabhupada by hearing the kirtan. And the kirtan was going on, and then suddenly it got more intensified, and that means Prabhupada's coming out of his rooms, and so everybody's getting more excited. And yeah, then Prabhupada comes out onto the veranda, you can hear the kirtan got louder, and then we could understand he's on the steps, he's on his way down now, he's on his way to the road. And I'm bathing the deities, Radha Madhava, cleaning, doing the morning puja, and my heart is torn between the two. I wanted to go and see Prabhupada, but I'm in the middle of deity worship. It's an injunction that you should not break your deity worship. Once you've started the worship, you should not get up and leave and go to do something else. So I was torn between the two. Prabhupada is leaving, and the injunction. I was halfway through bathing the deities. Then all of a sudden, I just jumped up. I went running out to see Prabhupada. He just got in the car at that time, and he was just started to leave. Yeah, so that was the last time I saw him. So the car was going down the road. It went quite slowly, so the devotees could keep up. So everyone was running down along with Prabhupada. And I was running down. I got by the side of the car and looking in the window, I could see Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada looked, and he looked at me. I don't know what the look was, but it was one of those looks. And he was gazing into my eyes. I was gazing into his eyes. And he actually moved, because Shruti Kirti was there, and he looking directly into my eyes. And even Shruti Kirti he saw Prabhupada, and he kind of, well, what's Prabhupada looking at? But I don't know what it was, but it went into my heart. And then Navadyangra Swami was there. And he said, where's that towel fan? Those palm leaf fans. Because in those days, I don't know if the ambassador cars, that was the only car in India. I don't know if they had the AC or not. So anyway, Prabhupada, they wanted a towel fan, which Navadyangra Swami had given. He asked me if I could get some for Prabhupada, a fan for Prabhupada. So I got it for him a couple of days before he had asked me. I gave him one, I kept one for myself. And then the Abhinandarendra Swami said, where's that towel fan? I said, I gave it to you. He said, I don't know, you got another one? I said, I've got another one in my room. He said, go and get it. And I thought, am I have time to run to my room and get the fan? And when Prabhupada's already halfway, I thought, it's hope against, no, I won't be able to do that. I don't have enough time. So I looked at him and I gave you, like you ordered the fan, I gave it to you. But I'm not going to go back. And I kept on running. down the side of the car until Prabhupada got to the gate, and then he picked up speed. And everybody just remained motionless for some time. And then later on in the car, after quite some considerable time, Prabhupada was quiet. He didn't say anything. Then after some time, he spoke and he said, "Who is the strongest, Krishna or Balaram?" And the devotees, "I think Balaram must be the strongest because he's the holder of the universe. He's an Anantadevi." Another devotee said, "Well, the name Balaram, Bala means strong, so I think Balaram is strongest." And Prabhupada said, "No, Krishna is stronger." He said, "Haven't you seen in Vrindavan how Balaram has to take rest on Krishna? So therefore Krishna is strong." So anyway, it shows that Prabhupada, he was just leaving Mayapur, but where was his consciousness? He was already in Vrindavan. He was on his way to Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Bol. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jananivas Prabhu.